My girl. Like, I know you're not saying it, but as in, he's ready to tussle for you. He's ready to fight for you.
But it's giving me a bit of like a...
I know.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 901, where I guess talking about obviously Molly and Mitch. And as the title says, is Molly manipulative, or was it just a misunderstanding or miscommunication? Is Mitchell somebody who's territorial or possessive, or is he just generally giving his point of view, which is that, you know, he wants to pull back because she's not giving as much as she's giving? Now, I think the reality of the situation is a bit between both of them. I'm not going to go into either side. I can give points for either side. When I first started watching Love Island, that episode, I could see from Mitch's point of view why he will feel some type of way later on, because they have made, without saying anything, a deep connection. They've been going deep. They've been inadvertently promoting to everybody else that they're closed off. In fact, Zach actually says that to Molly, you know, that he thought they were closed off. He thought they were tight. Let's have a look.
Right? No.
You felt it. It feels like you've been shut off.
Yeah, but I don't want that. I don't want that, and everyone keeps saying it, and it's not that.
Everyone keeps saying it. Well, why do they keep saying it, Molly? This is where I think unaccountability on Molly's part, I don't like. And I called it Karen behavior, when you become unaccountable and then you start crying to try and get out of the situation, right? Now, of course, we see in tomorrow's episode that they're going to have a conversation and it's going to be confronted. But it's like, babe, you don't act like you don't know what happened and how you got to that point. Don't act like you didn't know that you were part of it, like you played a part in how you guys are looking right now, right? The reality is it came from both sides. Right? Did Mitch talk on your behalf? No. Did you talk on his behalf? No. You both spoke and you both made it clear what your position was. Now, Mitch has made it very clear that, you know what, he's closed off later on, but he was saying that he's more focused on Molly. Now, I don't feel like this is possessive. I think we have to be very, very careful now that we're getting into a space where anytime a man shows any affection or appreciation and wants to even lock things down a little bit earlier than you would like, suddenly he's possessive. And it's the same thing with the Andre and the Catherine situation. It's like as soon as somebody feels you a bit more, oh, they're possessive. No, you just don't like them as much, and therefore their behavior looks far more worse to you, right? Like, it's not possessive. It's loving if you actually like them, if you're attracted to them. And it would have been, it's not possessive, or should I say, it's not possessive on Mitch's end if Molly actually wanted him the same way, which is what we saw in the last 3 days. So up until the point where Zach kissed her, we weren't fully aware of her behavior. Now, I was. Can I just take my plaudits? Because I will, okay? Because the one thing I'm going to do is toot my horn, okay? I said this from early. I said, I have a problem with Molly and the way she behaves, right? It's the thing she says. And I said, you got to watch out for somebody who says, oh, I got to kiss a guy to make Mitch jealous. What's the point? Why are you trying to make Mitch jealous when you are open to getting to know other people, right? So why are you trying to make Mitch jealous? What's the focus on making him a little bit jealous? Right today on this the last episode, also she said she wants she noted the fact that Mitch is going to be doing it. Listen to this, all right? You see what I'm saying?
You know what? Your body needs to do the talking, like they said.
I think Mitch might be shit in the bed at the minute, but that's good.
Molly's going.
Why is it good that Mitch is shit in the bed? You're open, remember? Right? Mitch is shit in the bed. I'm happy that Mitch is gonna be jealous. This is the last time it was about kissing another guy in front of him to make him jealous. And that's when I started noting, I said, no, Molly's a problem and she's an issue. So she is a little bit manipulative, because now you're throwing this whole I can't communicate and I just go along with it. No, you don't, because you end up kissing somebody. So let's take some responsibility, let's take some accountability, and let's stop that nonsense, right? Like, I don't mind calling out both men and women when they move mad, right? Like, Zach's about to be on my next hit list. Like, he's on that pathway, because Zach's out here saying, I don't want to be that guy that, no, sir, you're about to become that guy, because you kiss him, Catherine, and you've kissed him, Molly, and we need you to communicate with Catherine to let Catherine know that you're not, that you're open to talking to both people and getting to know them, right? Before we start having any kind of other conversations. But the reality of situations, you're now doing this whole I can't communicate, which is fair. I understand that. I do take that into account, and I'm not going to erase that, and I'm not going to pretend as if that doesn't exist. But I'm also going to say that's not an excuse, right? You kissed another dude in a game right in front of him and then added a commentary of, well, it's good because I wanted to make him jealous. Now you've added this part on too, what you said obviously about how, you know what, I'm not closed off. I don't know why Mitch, I keep hearing everybody saying about Mitch is closed off. Yeah, because he answered a question honestly. And that's fine if you're not. Just communicate that so that we can get it over and done with, right? Which is what we're going to see on tonight's episode. But, this whole, crying now because I find it so hard to get my feelings across, and I just end up going with the flow. It's like, no, get together. Get it together. Stop the tears, stop the crying. Get your big boy pants on, and just be honest and true, right? Just be
Yeah,
real.
what's wrong?
I just can't.
Wait, I don't want to make like a scene. Yeah, what's wrong?
I just can't always
Talk
get
to
out
me.
how I feel.
Yeah, that's fine though. That's fine.
I can't just go with things.
And look, the reality of the situation is that I find that the reason why I said I find it manipulative is because reality is that the tears are not because, oh, I feel so bad because I've strung someone else along, and that's why. No, they feel bad because they're now going to be they're now being looked as a bad person. She has more concern about her reputation of not being called a bad person and not being shown in a bad light. That's why the tears are really coming. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm sure the tears also added to the fact that she can't communicate very well. But it's I feel like there's a major motivation behind it, which is you don't want to look like the bad person. In realities in life is you're going to look like a bad person to different people. You are a villain in somebody else's story, and you're going to have to get comfortable with that. Right. But what we're asking for is some honest behavior, letting the person know this is where I stand and where I feel. Again, she does do that later on in this episode, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen. But what's really interesting is the fact that when Whitney came to her and said,
Mitchell, so he's closed off. Someone telling you he will get to know her. You reckon? It's good.
if someone comes in, he will get to know her. No, he should. No, which one is it, babe? He will or he should, right? Let's be honest, he should. But you've been hearing all day, and you heard from Whitney earlier on as well, saying that he's closed off. So why would he go and get to know another girl? Well, basically because you're trying to make yourself feel better, and you want him to get to know somebody else so that you don't feel bad about what you're doing. Let's just keep it real, buck. I don't think we need to lie. I don't think we need to pretend as if it's an honorable thing that you're doing about, oh, he will get to know. No, you are wanting to have that assumption so that you don't feel as bad about you moving on and do what you're doing. And that's okay. That's just real, right? Catherine did the exact same thing, and I said the same thing. The reality of the situation is she didn't want to feel bad about having to move on with Zach, with Andre, and it helps when someone else has moved on with someone else, right? So that's all Molly's doing. But don't pretend as if I don't know. Would he? I think he would move. I know he would move on when you know he wouldn't. When he's already told you he's closed off. When you just had a conversation with Zach, saying to Zach, hey, I don't know why people keep saying he's closed off, because you know what? I'm not closed off. I'm open. In fact, on 3 different occasions, he kept on saying, I'm open. Like, you have to make it clear on 3 different occasions, I'm open. And it's like, babe, okay, you're open. Okay. You know what I mean? Why? Because you know that Mitch is closed. This is why I can't accept that you don't know what you're doing, Molly. And this is what I said. That's why the Karen tears don't move me. Okay, let's keep it a buck. It's manipulative because you know exactly what you're doing, and you know how to you're trying to get out of this, trying to get out of the situation to make it look like you're clean, and you're not clean. Just be honest. Like, you dragged somebody on a little bit on than you needed to. You weren't honest with yourself, and you weren't honest with him about you wanted to be more exploratory. Not only that, nobody was looking for you. So I think that's why also you've opened yourself up now. Now that Zach has made himself very clear, George too wasn't really your type. He wasn't on the level of Mitch. This new guy that came in is not on the level of Mitch. Zach is the only one that's bigger and better, because women oftentimes go for bigger and better. They're not going adjacent. They're not trying to go down. They want to go bigger and better. So we call that hypergamy. But anyway, in the sense of there's no money situation here, but it's more of a case of looks, right? She might think that Zach is a step up. And so that's why only now, all of a sudden, I'm open. You should have been open before this. Like, I don't understand why you have to mention opening now. Of course, because he said he's closed. But the reality of the situation is, if you were open before, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So you weren't open. It's only because Zach has shown some interest now, you're open. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it open. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. You know me, I don't play games. I like to break things down. But welcome to that deeper look. We'll have more of these during the course of the next few weeks over Love Island. If you want to see more great content like this, please click on the button below. Sometimes we do serious. When you see deeper look, just know I'm doing a more serious review. When I'm doing the other ones, I'm going to be funny. I'm going to be stupid. I'm going to be, do my thing. But like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you. Stay locked, stay loaded. And don't forget, have some shame, have some class about yourself.